Hi everyone, in this video we are going to do a deep dive of the student debt relief plan that was issued by President Biden last August. We are most likely just a few days away from receiving that sign up link so that you can submit for debt cancellation. And the goal of this video is to give you the information that you need so that you are prepared and you know exactly what to do. Most of the information in this video has come from an email that the U.S. Department of Education sent out a few days ago with the updates. This student relief plan has a component that will cancel student loans for specific individuals. It looks like, based on the research and the studies, that millions of people will be affected by this. So if you are a student, just graduated, if you have a parent who actually took out a loan on behalf of you, this might affect them. So carefully review what's in this video as well as in the links in the description and send it to someone who may be able to benefit. There's probably a friend or someone in your family or circle that could benefit from this student relief plan. Let's first talk about who is eligible. There is an income eligibility for this student debt relief and cancellation. The first is if you are a single individual and making less than $125,000 a year, or if you are part of a household and you make less than $250,000 a year. They will be looking at your 2020 and 2021 tax returns. So if you need to pull those up and have that prepared so you know exactly what those numbers are, you'll need to do that. If you need to file amendments, if you made a mistake with your 2020 or 2021 tax returns that will affect your final income numbers, do so now. For dependent students, your eligibility is based on your parents' income. Most federal student loans are eligible. So if you received a student loan from the federal government, there is a likelihood that part of that can get canceled. This includes undergraduate and graduate direct loans, Parent Plus and Grad Plus loans, and so much more. A full list of the loans are available here. Take a look at your loans to see if they match up and ensure and double check if you're eligible for this debt relief. If you were part of the forbearance period and were not required to submit payments on your student loans, there is a high likelihood that those loans qualify and make you eligible for debt relief. So unfortunately, if you do have private loans issued by private companies, private banks like Discover or SoFi, those loans are not eligible because those are not federal loans. So how much debt relief could you be eligible for? Well, it'll depend on a single thing. If you are a Pell Grant recipient, which means your family was in a lower income, and when you started school, you qualified and received a Pell Grant in college, you would be eligible for $20,000 of debt relief. For everyone else, people who did not receive a Pell Grant, you will be eligible for $10,000 in debt relief. In the next few days, in the early days of October, the U.S. Department of Education will launch a short online application for student debt relief. You won't need to upload any supporting documents or use your FSID to submit your application, but it's good to have some information handy in case it asks for that. It might ask for an account number. It might ask for your loan servicer information. Once you submit your application, they will review it, determine eligibility for debt relief, and they will work with your loan servicer to process the relief. So they will work on the back end to get you that $10,000 or $20,000 of debt relief. So right now, there is no application yet, but make sure you sign up at the link below for the U.S. Department of Education for updates so that you can submit your application right away. It is recommended that you get your application in as soon as possible. They say it will take around 6 weeks to process your student debt relief. And you want to make sure you get that done before the last extension period ends on student loans. So by January 1st, there is no longer an extension for student loan payment. You will now be required to go back to making payments on student loans. If you get that relief removed before January 1st, that means your loan balance will be lesser, and that means your payments will also go down. So you want to submit this student loan relief application as soon as possible. Don't wait. Try to get it done soon because everyone else will also be doing the same thing. And you want to make sure you get yours processed as quickly as possible so that you don't have to pay back that money when January 1st comes through. The recommendation is that you get this done by at least November 15th. They are thinking that a paper application will be available, but if you can do it online, it might be faster. And if you want or need help, the U.S. Department of Education as well as your loan servicer would be able to provide you some help there. The period for submitting your student debt relief will be October 2022 until December 2023. Again, don't wait though, because if you can get that balance reduced, re-amortize your loan so that you won't be paying interest on the whole balance when it comes to taxes. Now, this one-time student loan debt relief will not be subject to federal income taxes, but there may be state implications, and it's going to vary per state. So you might want to check with your state laws for that. If at the end of this student debt relief, you still have a balance on your student loans, review the new balance and review your interest rates and prioritize it against other debt. You may have debt that's a higher interest, so figure out how to allocate your monthly payments for that so that you have a plan in place to reduce and eliminate debt. If at the end of this debt cancellation you get zero balance in your student loans, congratulations. With that extra money on hand, also review if you have other debt that you might want to put that money towards. Boost up your emergency fund. Invest a little more for yourself or your kids or other family members, or to save that money. There is a little bit of an economic uncertainty happening right now. So putting that money away, putting it in cash, might help you weather the next few months in case there's an economic downturn. For those that were making voluntary payments during the pandemic on their student loans, there is a refund process that you can go through that will allow you to reclaim back some of the payments you made during the pandemic. What you can do is contact your loan servicer to ask for this refund. Keep in mind, when you do ask for that refund, you would get that money back, but your loan balance will increase, which will also mean your monthly payments will increase. So you want to be absolutely sure that you will be receiving debt relief. And it is recommended that you request this refund by the end of the year before the extension ends. For those that made voluntary payments during the pandemic, which means you continue to submit payments since March 2020 towards your student loans, it is possible for you to receive a refund up to the maximum debt relief. So, for example, if you are a borrower and you are eligible for $10,000 in relief and you had a balance of $10,500, $9,500 before March 13, 2020, and you made $1,000 in payments since then, bringing your balance to $9,500 at the time of the cancellation, the U.S. Department of Education will relieve you of the $9,500 in balance, and you will receive a $500 refund. If you do not want debt relief, there will be an opportunity to opt out using the application system that will come out from the U.S. Department of Education. As of this recording in early October, this plan is on track to be implemented. Just a word of warning. Normally, when something like this comes up, there's going to be a good amount of scams happening, people trying to get your personal information, trying to get a fee out of you. Just remember that you never have to pay for help with your federal student aid and student loans. Again, you don't need to pay a fee for help in understanding or just getting more information about your federal student loans. Be on the lookout for scams. There might be scams in the comments in this video right now. Please just be wary of who you hand your personal information to. Make sure that the websites you're visiting are valid, have a .gov ending to it, and are also secure. If this video has been helpful, share it with a friend or a family member. I'm sure there is someone in your circle that could absolutely benefit from this relief program. The statistics show that this debt relief will affect many people who unfortunately graduated without a degree but with debt. So these might be a family member, a friend who started college a few semesters in but could not finish because of personal or financial or other reasons. So this could definitely change the financial status of a lot of people. So let them know that debt relief is possible and is coming. And consider subscribing to Sisters for Fi, where I cover personal finance, sustainability, minimalism, and motherhood. Because at the intersection of all of this is a life that we can live with impact and with meaning. Now, in the next few days, most likely the application for debt relief will come out. I will also do a video on that to walk you through, and you will see that video here. Now, if you also need help reducing your debt or just putting out a plan of action to pay your other debt, consider watching this video where we walk through how to reduce and eliminate